Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching this video, and one more time I would like to say thank you so much for watching my previous video, which crossed 10,000 views in just first day of in YouTube. So I'm really happy that you liked the video. Definitely it's so informative. Okay, so in this video I will move one more step forward to teach you, once we get data, how to do inspection. So it's very crucial to do a clear inspection of our data, and also here what are these key elements that we need to check whenever we get data. Okay, so if you work with Excel as a student, data analyst, manager, researcher, or as any job role or wherever you work, this video will save you, you know, significant number of hours, and also prevent you to do some wrong decisions. Um, so I'll be explaining how to inspect any particular data professionally, because most of the time when we collect data, there is always high chance that data might be incomplete or might have some missing values, maybe some outliers there in the data set. So here, one by one, we'll explain those terms. Maybe few terms might be completely new for you. I'll explain what they are. Okay, so I would like to start with a very simple data set. Here you can see we have a couple of important variables. The first column you see here is ID number, and the second variable name of a person, and his or her gender, age, and we simply ask them, what is your favorite social media and how much time you spend per day with your favorite social media platform. So let's say the first person, who is John, 22 years old, male, he said my favorite social media platform is Instagram and I spend 2.5 hours each day. Okay, all right. So we have that sort of data set, and I would like to show you very crucial and important data cleaning and inspection elements here in this video. First thing, whenever you get your data, you need to understand your data fully. So what are these steps? I'll explain here. The first step, whenever you get data, try to understand what sort of variable you have. This is very basic steps that you need to identify, you need to inspect. For example, here, the first variable, if you see here, this is ID, just ignore it. Name, always categorical variable or categorical data set. Gender, categorical. Age is quantitative variable. Social media, just see here, different names: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. So again, categorical variable. And number of daily hours that somebody is spending to use the social media is a quantitative variable. So if you want to learn more about what is categorical data and quantitative data, please watch my video which I made for descriptive statistics, where I explain in details. Okay, so once you inspect your data in terms of what sort of variables that you have in your data set, the next task is you need to understand how many variables you have and how many observations. You can see here the different variables: social media types, age, gender, name, daily hours, and you can take ID as a variable as well. And another important step in data inspection is we need to be aware of how many observations that we have in our data set. So you can see here it's 50, but do not rely always here. Sometimes we might repeat these numbers, so it might not be always exactly same as what we appears here. Right, so the easiest way to check how many observations or values we have, we can use very important functions called count and counter. Okay, so I'll quickly show you what is the learning goals today in this video before I jump to any Excel functions and formula. So I will show you here count, counter, row, column, rows, columns, and I'll also explain how to get minimum, maximum of our data, how to do sorting and filtering in Excel, and most importantly that you can't miss is outliers. So I will explain what outliers and how to find them in our dataset. And also I will start doing some very basic conditioning functions called if, countif, and this will be part A. So we cannot do part A plus part B within 10-12 minutes, so I just plan to make two different videos. So in this video we will be limited to only these functions. Well, let's start. So this is our dataset. So we have a couple of variables. I've already explained how to check them, and next step is to find out how many observations we have. So in order to check how many observations we have in our dataset, I would like to use, let's say, count function, and I will explain what is the difference between count and counter. So if you do count, and if I simply select the data, look, this is column D, and start with D2 row. So this particular cell name is D2. It goes till D51. So you can see here count D2 D51. It's 48. Okay. It suggests that we have 48 number of values, but I'm not very much sure that this is the complete number of observation here. So once you do count, all right, so I would like to suggest you to use another function called count blank. I want to check any missing values here. So you can check that using count blank. So in my previous video I already told many times that every single functions have to be started with equal sign always in Excel. So you see here equal count blank, and then as I said earlier, so you can simply type D2, no need to scroll the data set. So D2 to D51 is my complete. Look, once I type D2 D51, it's already automatically selected. I will get the answer. Yes, it's 2. So we suggest that we have 2 blank values here, and 48 we have the complete information. So count blank gives you how many missing values we have in our data set. So now 48 plus 2 is 50. So we have total 50 observations. So that's what I was trying to show you here. But the problem is when we do the same thing for categorical data, let's say if I want to use how many observations we have here, the answer is 0. But definitely you know that there is some problem with the formula because we have 50 observations. Okay, so this point of time I would like to introduce another function called count A, or you can say counter. If our data is categorical data, that is non-numeric, and if you want to count how many observations we have in our data set, you must use count A or counter, whatever you say, instead of count. So the basic difference between count and counter is we use count for numeric data, numeric values, while counter or counter can be used for categorical data set. So now if I hit enter button, look, it gives me answer 50. This is the basic difference between count and counter. So please just note it somewhere. Counter or counter is for categorical data and count is for quantitative data. Okay, very nice. So this particular variable is age, and we found that at two different places the variable value is missing, right? So you can see here, I can manually find out where the missing value is. Here the first one, that is row 21, and then row 12. So these two values are missing. So in this video I'll be also explaining how to tackle this problem. If we have missing values in our data set, how to refill the value, how to, technically it's called data imputation. So how to do data imputation in Excel, I will also explain. Okay, so next one is row column and rows columns. Very important functions here. Also something, okay, let's say I want to use function row. I would make a little bit zoom, maybe you can't see. Okay, so let's say I want to apply function row. I don't know which row is this. Simply let's select this one and hit enter. It says this is row number 3. Look, it's row number 3 actually. If you simply do column, C-O-L-U-M-N, column, and if you select that data like this, look, it gives some error. So if you want to do this function, what you need to do is equal column column and select any column randomly. It gives you the detail of which column this is. Look, column number 4, because the first one is ID, name, gender, and this is. So the function rows and column, that gives, when you select the data, the answer will be which column is this, which row is this. Super easy. So you can use this function row and column. Next function looks similar to the rows and column, but a bit difference there. If you simply click ROWS, rows. Okay, I'm going to select this time multiple rows here. Let's say this one, right, and hit enter. So it gives you how many rows I selected. You see here I'm selecting 3 different rows. Answer will be 3, right? So if I select a few more, let's say, you can see how many I selected. You cannot count if it's too big, or it takes time. But if you do so, gives very simple answers. So I've selected 7 different rows. Similarly, if I do here columns, columns, you can see how many columns I selected. 1, 2, 3. Answer must be 3. So this is how we use row and columns. Okay, so you got row and column, rows and columns. Next one is minimum and maximum. When you get your data, and in order to inspect your data fully, you need to understand, for example, in this data set for this particular variable, what is the highest age of my, let's say this is students' data, so I would say my students. What is the minimum age of my student? What is the highest number of hours that my student spent on social media? So always minimum and maximum is 2 important functions that we need to inspect in every single data. So I'll simply do minimum here, and I'll calculate minimum and maximum. I'll show you how to do that. You can simply do minimum, type mean, and you can select your data. You understand, D2 to D51, D51, and hit enter. Okay, so minimum age is -2, which is not good. It cannot be negative, but why it's minus? Look, this is, look here. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. It could be 2 or 20. We don't know, but definitely age cannot be negative. So when we do data inspection, this is how we catch the problem. We point out the problem. So I can now red highlight this one, right? Or I can just check what is the problem. Okay, so this is not technically possible because age cannot be negative. All right. Okay, now I've changed this to different values. Okay, let's do maximum. I want to check what is the maximum of our data set. Either you select or just type D1 to D51 this data. Okay, so there is a person whose age is 110 years. It could be possible. Could be possible. Okay, so min and max functions one more time. Equal min, select the data, hit enter button. Maximum equal max, select the data and hit enter button. So this is how we inspect minimum and maximum of the data set. And these two measures are super important because you need to understand what is the minimum observations of your data. Okay, you need to note that these functions min and max cannot be done for categorical data because you cannot say which is the big one, TikTok or Instagram, technically, trust me. Okay, all right. The next one, sort and filter. I will show you here how to do. Let's say I want to sort the data set simply. You can type sort. Just I want to simply select these 5 numbers and I want to sort. You just simply type sort, select the data, hit enter. Look, the computer automatically arrange the data set in increasing order. Right, so this is by default. You can do sort and filter manually, but I can give you more tips. There is option here, you can see data, right? So when you go in data, you can see here sort and filter. So if I select this one and do sort, it asks me expand the selection or continue with the current. So I would say when you do expand the selection, so it basically helps other column or entire data of sorting, but this will be the main variable, based on this particular variable. Look, it also shows some missing columns row name. So this is how we can do. But when you say just simply do expand the without doing expand the current selection, just to continue with the current one. Look, it's now in increasing order. Okay, so when you do Control Z, so you will go back to your original position. Right, all right, easy. Okay, I want to check how many Instagram people were there. Let's say just simply select this column E and go to filter and select here. I want to check, just click Instagram. You can see all the Instagram people here. You can check their gender, age, and how many hours they're spending every single day. So this is a nice example of filtering in Excel. Okay, so I would prefer to use these sort and filter options rather than doing just typing manual equal sort because of super easy. Okay, next one is outliers. So first I would say what outlier is. When we'll be doing descriptive statistics in next video, you can check more details what outlier is and what is quartiles, what are descriptive statistics and summary statistics. But here quickly I'll tell you, any extreme values, either extremely large or extremely small values, are called outliers. Sometimes outlier could be due to typo or any particular error, or sometime the outlier might be genuine value. For example, if I get 120-year-old person in our data set, here our maximum is I think 102 or whatever, 110. But if I get 120, it's possible. A person can be 120 years old. But this will be an outlier. So because let's say our average value is around 25 years old and the maximum value is 120. This is far away than the middle position of the data. So technically the formula to identify whether a particular observation is an outlier or not, this is the formula where Qn is first quartile, Q3 is third quartile, IQR is called interquartile range. So no need to worry. I'm 100% sure that you can't understand when I show you this formula, but believe me, when you watch my video, I would say technically fourth video, then you will understand what is the actual meaning of outlier. But here I'll show you how to get it, how to inspect it, because we cannot move without it. Okay, I would like to do that. Let's select the data, go insert, and then click on box and whisker plot. So this is box and whisker plot. Super important in statistics and data science. I would go for 8 data labels. So this is minimum, this is Q1, Q2, Q3, and this 29 is the maximum, and the middle value is mean. So 24 is the median, 23.73. Okay, I want to show you some magic. Let's say by mistake, typo, this is 220 years old person, not 22. Actually, it's 22 years old, but due to typo or some error, I made it 220. You can see here the graph chart automatically changed to different new graph, and 220 values is on top. Let's make it 110. Still, this is an outlier because this is not the part of our box plot. Let's say what happens if I make it 80. It's still outlier. 75. Yeah. So you can see this is how we can identify whether there is any outlier of our data set or not. So when we get outlier in next video or part 2 of this video, I'll tell you how to tackle the situations when we get an outlier or more than one outlier in our data sets. But this stage you need to know how to identify the outlier in your data set. So box plot is the easiest. There are multiple methods. The box plot is the easiest one. We will discuss other methods in upcoming videos. So I'm going to delete it at the moment, and then I'll make it 22 as usual. It's all right. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to click on our next part 2 video where I will deal with missing values. So we already identified that for age there are 2 values that are missing. Similarly, you can see some genders is also missing. So I will tell you how to tackle the situation. And this last variable, daily hours, also some of the values missing. So please do not forget to watch the next one where we will be learning some conditional formatting functions, if, countif, ifs, countifs, and also we will learn how to impute these missing values. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Stay tuned.